Hello, my name is Betsy Lavolette, and I'm Associate Professor of English at Kyoto Sangyo University. Today, I would like to ask for your advice and feedback on a work in progress, which is redesigning my third and fourth year seminar into a project-based seminar on learner autonomy. So here's what I'm planning to talk about today. First, I would like to give a little bit of background about the reason that I want to change this zemi. And then I'll talk about the course structure as I'm currently thinking about it. And then I would like to ask you some specific questions and also invite your general feedback and ways you think I could improve this plan. So first of all, a little bit of background as to why I'm making this change. First, when I came to Kyoto Sangyo University, and even before I joined, even in the interview, I was asked what the topic for my seminar was going to be. And I honestly had no idea what a seminar was in the Japanese context. So I chose a topic that I thought would appeal to a large number of students. But what I did not know was that this particular seminar runs for 2 years. So the topic that I chose was not really very good for an extended period of time. And now, understanding a bit more about the situation and the student population that I'm working with, I think it would be better actually to push students to achieve a bit more, and I think that they will rise to the task. Also, zemi is intended to be academic content, so as preparation for grad school, I think a more academic outcome would be a better choice. And finally, I understand now that I don't want a topic that attracts the most students. It's in fact better to have a smaller number of students, both for their sake and for my sake. So, why learner autonomy? Well, there are a lot of student benefits to my mind. First of all, students in my seminar will be graduating, and they won't have a school there to be pushing them to continue their language learning. So it would be good to give them a background in autonomous language learning. I would also like them to be able to connect their personal experiences of learning a second language with the academic field of second language acquisition. If they are planning to go on to graduate school, this is a great chance for them to develop their research skills. And finally, I think this is an opportunity for them to apply not just their English skills, but also their Japanese skills and any other language skills that they have developed over their lives in doing the background research for this project. And also, if they, when they're filling out the ethics committee paperwork, it's a chance to use their Japanese skills. And then finally, I have a personal interest in learning more about this topic. You may have seen me present this slide before. So this is kind of a research agenda in a way, because it shows us the overlaps and the differences between self-access language centers and the language centers in the US that I have been much more familiar with. And this is the part that I am not at all familiar with. So I think it would help me a lot as a researcher to know more about learner autonomy. So here are the tentative course goals. There are 2 main products that I'd like students to produce. The first is a presentation, and I think that JASAL's student conference would be an ideal venue for this. and a publishable paper. It could be co-authored by all the students in the class, or maybe breaking into groups depending on the numbers. Potentially, if I have to make a significant contribution as well, I might end up being an author, but that is not one of the goals of this. In the first semester, the major project would be writing a lit review as a class. So I think that it might be each student writes a review of 1 or 2 articles, and then as a class they have to integrate those into a lit review. Some of the activities involved would be reading autonomy literature, and particularly if there is student-authored literature in this field, please let me know. I haven't been able to find any yet. The students would determine the research topic within autonomy that they intend to research, and students would be presenting articles to the class as they are preparing the lit review. In the second semester, the major project would be getting ethics committee approval for their study, and the activities involved would be revising and expanding the lit review now that they have chosen a more specific topic. They might need to do some more work on that. They would be developing a research plan and the instruments like survey instrument or interview questions, and then completing the ethics committee paperwork and submitting it. In the third semester, assuming that they've gotten their ethics committee approval, they would be conducting the research and writing the research report. They would survey or interview participants potentially, analyze their data, whether it's quantitative, qualitative, or both, incorporate their lit review into a research report, and write a presentation proposal with an eye toward the fourth semester, where their project is to share their research results. And that would involve both presenting at a conference. It depends how the timing works out, of course, but I would love for them to present at the JASAL student conference. They would submit their research report to a journal and hopefully go through this process of revising, resubmitting, and finally getting their work published. So I'd like to ask your advice and feedback. The first specific question I have for you is, how can I help students read academic articles in English? This is not something I have tackled before, and I think it is going to be quite challenging for them. Related to that, how much of the autonomy literature is available in Japanese? I think it would really help students if they could read things in Japanese to get a background for what the English articles are telling them. I'm wondering if there's any autonomy literature written by undergraduates. I was able to find quite a bit about language centers and self-access language centers written by undergraduates, but I haven't yet found anything with a focus on learner autonomy. And then finally, I'm thinking about ways to make the course more student-led. Of course, I showed you all these plans for what's going to happen in each semester, but that's really something I would like to negotiate with the students and work with them as their abilities allow, hopefully accomplishing these goals. But as I said at the beginning, I think just pushing them to achieve more may produce better outcomes than I've had in the past. So even if they don't quite come up with a publishable paper by the end of this, I still think they'll have made some very significant research progress. So thank you very much for listening, and I would greatly appreciate your advice. Thank you.